Yes, so good evening, everyone. Today we are going to start our first chapter from the textbook of Cambridge AS level mathematics, and it is probability and statistics, part one. Okay, so it is for paper one. Okay, so the first chapter from this textbook, the first chapter, chapter one, is about the representation of data. Okay, so it is representation of data. Okay. So actually, statistics is the study of how we actually collect the data, and after collecting the data, we can study the data and make some observation on the data, some inference from the data, and this result or this information we can apply on the entire population from which we are collecting the data. Okay, so that is not required right now. So first we will see the types of data. Okay, so in our day-to-day life, the types of data comes in two categories. Okay, it comes in two categories. The first one is qualitative data. Okay, and the another one is quantitative data. Okay, so qualitative and quantitative, these are the two categories in which the data appears in our day-to-day life. For example, mm, if for example we collect the marks of the students in a given class. Okay, so that will be of numerical type. Okay, so the mark can be either 25, 26, like this. Okay, so it will be a number. Okay, so all these numbers or the numerical values comes under our quantitative data. Okay, so all the numbers and numerical values comes under quantitative data. But for example, if we try to collect the blood samples, okay, and we record that data. So that blood group is like O positive, AB, okay, A, like this. Okay, so they are nothing but alphabetical letters. Okay, so it comes under this qualitative data type. Okay, so it is a qualitative data type. Okay, these are the two major categories in which our day-to-day data can be categorized. Okay, and now see, if you have quantitative data, again quantitative data can be of two types. Quantitative data can be of two types. The first one is discrete data, and the second one is continuous data. Okay, so discrete data, the discrete data might include the values. For example, if I toss a coin, okay, so the number of heads can be uh, either 0 or 1. Okay, if I toss it once. Okay, so it can take two values. Okay, so the values like this, which can be counted. Okay, which can be counted, are comes under discrete data type. Okay, and it is not that the discrete data type is always the integer. Okay, it can be real numbers also, decimals also, but the thing is the values can should be counted. For example, our discrete data set can be the set can be like this, 1.5 and say minus 1.5. Okay, it can include these two values. So this data set is nothing but a discrete data set because it can be counted. Okay, so in this data set we have 2 points. Okay, but continuous, as the name suggests, takes infinite values in a range. Okay, for example, continuous, you can say the light intensity. Okay, so the light intensity from any electric bulb, or maybe from sun, electric bulb or sun, it has some range. Okay, it start from 0 and then it continuously takes some range. Okay, so it takes some range in continuous sense. Okay, in continuous sense, so it will take range most probably in interval values. Okay, in interval, for example, it will take the value from say 0 to some capital M. Okay, so the values which lies inside some sort of interval are known as continuous values. Okay, so now Now we know that the data comes in two categories. The first one is discrete and another one is continuous. So the next step in statistics, once we have the data, the second step is how we actually keep the data with us, how we actually represent the data, how we handle the data. So that is it becomes easy to study that data further. Okay, because if that data is just written on a piece of paper randomly, it will be not that much helpful for us. Okay, so this the first topic, that is representation of discrete data. Okay, so the first topic, that is 1.2, the textbook is representation of discrete data. Okay, so how we can represent the discrete data. So this method is known as stem and leaf method. Okay, so this is the stem and leaf method. Okay, so as the name suggests, although it is not a very good analogy, but we can imagine a stem here and some sorts of leaf like this. Okay, so our data is picturized somehow in similar manner, and the leaves can also be in this direction as well. Okay, so the data can be uh, pictorially represented in somehow this manner, but we will see how it is. Okay, and here I shown you some of the steps in order to construct a stem and leaf diagram. Okay, so we will follow these steps in order to solve the first part of this question from your textbook. Okay, so this is the second question from your textbook, exercise 1A. Okay, so this is the second question from exercise A, 1A, second question. So we will tackle this part. Okay, so the question is, a shopkeeper takes 12 bags of coins to the bank. The bags contains the following number of coins. Okay, so these are the data points. As you can see, 150, 163, 158, like this. Okay, so uh, what is the first step? You can read and you can also note down these steps later on. It will be very much helpful for you. So select one or more leading digits for the stem values. Okay, so we can select one or more leading digits. So in this, because the data point consists of 3 digits, it will be better if we choose 2 digits. For 2 digits we will choose for the stem. Okay, and then the remaining 1 digit will be for our leaf. Okay, so I'm selecting two digits. Okay, and the digit points are 150, 163. So all these data points, okay, their starting digits are either 15 or 16 or 17. Okay, so this data points comes in only in these three categories. Okay, so I can write it okay, so I can write it in this order. I will write 15 first, then I will write 16, then I will write 17. Okay. Okay, so after this, we need to draw a vertical line like this. Okay, in order. So this is how we are constructing a stem and leaf method. So this portion right here, this is the stem. Okay, and now we need to draw the leaves. Okay, so for leaves, actually we will see how this values goes. Okay, so the first value is 150. Okay, so 15 we have already written. Now we need to write this zero part here. Okay, so I will write the zero here. Okay, so this data point we have covered. Now we have this 163, so I have already written 16. I will just write 3 here. Then 158, so I will write 8. Okay, similarly this 165, so I will write this 5. Then I have this 172, so it will come here. 2 will come, then 152, so this 2 will come here. Then 160, so this 0 will come here. Then for 170, I will write the 0 here. Then I have 156, so I will write 6 here. Then 162, I will write 2 here. Then 159, so I will write 9 here. Then I have finally 175. One sec. Okay. So I have pretty much covered all the steps. Now Okay, so these are our data points. So all the information that was given in the row, now we can see that we can actually see all these details in this stream and leaf diagram. Okay, but there is one more thing that we need to write here. Okay, in order to read this, we must provide a key. Okay, so the key for the next person who will be reading this data points should go like this. For example, 150. What does this portion represent? It represent 150 represents what? It represent a data point of 150. Okay, it represent a data point of 150. Okay. Okay, so we have followed all the steps. Select one or more leading digits. Further, the trailing digits become the leaves. Okay, so digits, all these digits here, they are the trailing digits. Okay, so they becomes the leaf. They become the portion for leaf. Okay, and this portion right here is stem. Okay, then possible stem values in a vertical column. This also we have done. Record the leaf for each observation beside the corresponding stem value. This also we have done, and indicate the units for stems and leaves someplace in the display. Okay, so this data point will represent 150 as our value. This is the key. But we can further improvise this stem and leaf diagram. And what we can do, we can actually, so let me first let me, okay, so let me remove this, remove this from this place, so we will get enough space to improvise it further. Okay, so although this stem and leaf diagram, this is also accurate, there is no problem here, but see, we can improvise it even further. Okay, so there is no problem regarding the leaf stem portion, sorry, but the leaf portion can be even arranged in a increasing order. Okay, so for example, this 0 will come here, no problem, but the next digit should be 2. Okay, in place of it we will write, so that it will even give a systematic way to see the data. Okay, and there will be no confusion, so it is in increasing order. So after this I will write 8, then I'll write 9. Similarly, I will apply the same method here. First 0 will come, then 2 will come, then 3 will come, then 5. Okay, similarly for it 1 7, first it will be 0, then it will be this 2 here, then it will be this finally 5. Okay, so although both are equivalent, there is no problem. This is also this right hand side stem and leaf diagram, this is also correct, but this looks neat and clean. Why? Because here the ascending order is from left hand side to right hand side. Okay, so the data points are more clear. Okay, and you can note down these steps in order to construct any stem and leaf diagram that I have included from a higher level textbook, college level textbook. So these steps gives a very systematic way to construct any stem and leaf diagram. So I think that this concept is clear to you, and hope to see you soon. Thank you very much.